Be Not Weary, from Favorite Unity Radio Talks, published in Missouri in 1950 by the Unity School of Christianity. Be not weary. Do you tire easily? Does it sometimes seem that fatigue creeps upon you for no good reason at all? If you do, may I suggest that you check on your mental habits to see just what they are. It may come as a surprise to some to learn that habits of the mind have anything to do with physical tiredness. Yet many know that this is true. Many know from personal experience that when we worry, when we are angry or afraid, when we get too excited or tense, we react by becoming fatigued. Because we are not in the habit of thinking of fatigue as illness, we do not hesitate to say, "I am tired." Yet thinking or expressing tiredness is a transgression of the law of life, which is limitless, unceasing energy. Whenever we think or say, "I am tired," we are claiming a negative condition by the use of the power words, "I am," and this thought or spoken phrase reacts on our body as inevitably as would any other destructive words or thoughts. Fatigue may not appear to be a sin, but when we let it become a habit, we cannot function in our highest capacity, nor use the gift of life as we were meant to use it. Jesus said, "I came that they may have life, and may have it abundantly." When we say, "I am tired," we are denying the free-flowing life of God. When we yield to fatigue in any form, we are not exercising our right to the abundant life which, by the evidence of his own words, Jesus came to earth to give us. We students of truth who understand the principle of thought as cause try to maintain physical health by refusing to think illness. Do we follow the same course to maintain physical energy? Doubtless not. Most of us have heard faithful followers of spiritual teaching lament their feeling tired, and many times we ourselves have said, "I'm too tired." One truth student told of a personal experience that awakened in her the realization that fatigue is mental. She was stretched on a couch, feeling so weary that she did not want to read or move or do anything but rest. When the telephone rang, she picked up the receiver listlessly, irritated at having to make even that small effort. "How about going to the beach for a swim?" a friend asked. "I can't. I'm too tired," she said. "Oh, come on," urged the friend. "We haven't had a visit for a long time. Besides, the water will wake you up." Against her will, she let the friend persuade her. They had a good talk and a long swim, and suddenly she realized that she wasn't tired anymore, but felt stimulated and alive. She asked herself, why? The familiar words of the prophet Isaiah came to her mind and provided the answer. "They that wait for Jehovah shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." She had become weary because she had let thoughts of imperfection fill her mind, and had not waited on the perfection of the Lord. When we understand that the Lord faints not, nor is weary, that his spirit of life is ever present in us, we have only to stop thinking fatigue and think of infinite God energy in order to be revitalized at once. In the case of the woman just mentioned, her tiredness before the swim was entirely mental, for had it been physical, the added exercise would have made her more tired. When her interest was directed away from a negative condition and centered on something positive, the fatigue disappeared. Several years ago, for reasons beyond his control, a man who had always been enthusiastic and happy in his work found he was no longer needed in his chosen profession, and there followed a period of idleness, worry, and later continuous fatigue. "I can't understand this tiredness," he remarked one day. "When I was working steadily, sometimes as long as 10 and 12 hours a day, I never got tired. Now I seem to be tired all the time." The fatigue increased to such proportions that he was advised to consult a truth teacher. Months later, a friend seeing him was amazed at the change that had come over him. He looked like his old self, cheerful, enthusiastic, and full of energy. Upon being questioned about the remarkable change, he explained what had happened in this way. "At first I was depressed from losing my job, and resentful at the firm for letting me go. I was so filled with bitterness that I wasn't thinking straight. Those were the days of massive unemployment, and when I tried for another job, there just wasn't any to be had. It was a general condition, but I took it as a personal affront. Then I began to feel tired all the time, and couldn't even get up enough energy to hunt for work." The teacher gave it to me straight from the shoulder. He said I was letting pity for myself and anger against my former employers occupy my mind so completely that there wasn't room in it for anything else, that emotionalism of the kind I was indulging in was the major cause of chronic physical fatigue, that there wasn't a thing the matter with me that a determination to stop thinking destructively wouldn't cure, and that the sooner I'd get interested in something more important than my own feelings, the sooner I would get back to health and work. In my heart, I knew he was right. I took myself in hand and refused to worry about a job. I began physical exercises again, and found that they did not tire me at all. Then out of a clear sky I was offered work, something different from what I had done before, but stimulating and remunerative. I'm working harder now than ever before, and I'm never tired any more. These were the words of a man who demonstrated that destructive emotionalism is actually the cause of much fatigue. If we are dissatisfied with the work we are doing and allow ourselves to keep thinking about it, we feel tired. If we are discontented with the conditions of our outer life and mentally dwell on them, we feel tired. If we allow worry, fear, anger, or any other strong negative emotion to get control over us, we feel tired. If we have no absorbing interest in life, but drift idly from day to day in a state of boredom and unrest, we feel tired. Whatever the cause, we can get rid of fatigue as we would of any other deviation from perfect vitality by conscious control of our thinking. Feeling tired is an insidious habit, which if not broken will gradually weaken the will to be active. God did not mean for us to be poor, weak, weary creatures, but filled us with a glorious, dynamic spirit of life. Some may argue, sometimes after a hard day's work I really do get tired physically. I haven't been worrying or thinking negatively in any way, and still I feel worn out. There are times when after extraordinary exertion the body may seem dull and lifeless. A little rest will quickly cure the physical part of fatigue if the mind is not allowed to dwell on it. Complete relaxation of the body, with the mind centered on God as eternal energy, will restore perfect vitality in a few moments, but no amount of physical rest will help if we continue to think fatigue. If you are one of those who have been in the habit of saying, "I am tired," and if you wish to avail yourself of the ever-ready strength and life of God, I suggest a method of treatment that many have found extremely helpful. The moment the thought of fatigue enters your mind, stop what you are doing and relax your body, lying flat on your back if possible. If lying down is not feasible, you may find a comfortable chair, or else just stand perfectly still. Consciously direct your mind to every muscle to make sure that all tension is eased, all kinks straightened out. Try to make contact with God by using an affirmation of union, such as, "I and my Father are one," or "I am in the Father and the Father in me." Think of God as eternal life, strength, and energy, and direct that energy to your body, to the fingers and toes first, because they react immediately with a warm, tingling sensation, as though an electric current were passing through them. This manifestation of life pulsating in response to a thought facilitates directing the current through the rest of the body. If you have relaxed perfectly, you will find that almost at once the feeling of fatigue disappears and you are revitalized and ready to carry on with whatever you have to do. The means by which we break the habit of fatigue is the familiar principle of the transmutation of thought from negative to positive that most of us have been taught to use for the elimination of all errors. Not only do we have to deny the fault, but we must steadfastly practice its opposite virtue. In the case of fatigue, we have to cast out all thoughts of weakness and weariness, and concentrate on divine strength and power. We can be untiring at all times if we remember to go to the giver of all strength. We can always manage to pause for a moment at the first sign of fatigue, and affirm quietly that we are quickened with vitality. In order to break a long-standing habit of feeling or expressing fatigue, we shall have to use daily denials, affirmations, prayers. Quote, "And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not." Let us deny fatigue in this manner. I have no tired feeling, neither work nor worry, neither the people around me nor the conditions of my life tire me. I do not yield to weariness in any form. I have no tired feeling, neither work nor worry, neither the people around me nor the conditions of my life tire me. I do not yield to weariness in any form. Then let us affirm energy and strength. Use whatever positive words come into your mind. Claim your strength as coming direct from God, and therefore limitless, untiring, ever renewed. Through your constant awareness of the spirit of life, infinite life, within you, every nerve and cell and muscle can be revitalized. There's Clara Behringer from Favorite Unity Radio Talks. Be not weary. Thank you.